I'm not going to tell any stories. Miguel and Hawk throughout the series of Cobra Kai are best friends. And today, we're going to be pitting them up against each other as they have fought many different times throughout Cobra Kai. So ultimately, let's just see who's better between Miguel and Hawk every season. If you do enjoy this video, please like for the algorithm. Please subscribe if you enjoy. And thanks for all the support in the previous videos. Gonna try to get this out in 4 days, hopefully 3 days. Hopefully it's not as long as it was for the last upload. Let's get into this right now. Miguel versus Hawk is not very contentious, so I really wouldn't assume that this would take a long amount of time to go over it. Nor do I really think anybody will find most of the things contentious that I say, simply because of the simple facts of literal statements being obvious, watching the show, and just, I don't know, mental understanding. Ultimately, all these things put together would pretty much clearly depict who is the better fighter in each season. So let me go through this right now, and you will quickly see that, honestly, this truly isn't close at all. In season 1, Miguel is clearly the better fighter because Johnny literally says Miguel is his best student, and he also says that he is the only chance he has at winning the Yellow Valley since Hawk is obviously in Cobra Kai, and because Hawk hasn't started his training for very long before the All Valley tournament even starts. I think it's safe to say Miguel is well over him. Plus, he can fight relative with Robbie, or better yet, fight Robbie. Well, he can fight relative with an injured Robbie, I'll say. Not necessarily a healthy Robbie, as I do think Robbie is stronger, but that's not really for this video. In any case, Miguel is the better fighter between him and Hawk in season 1, and I would say Miguel will win no to low div just due to Hawk's inexperience. Moving on to season 2, it shouldn't really be that contentious, or honestly, it really shouldn't be that hard to discover who really is the better fighter in the season either. Miguel is once again stated to be at the top of the dojo by Johnny, and he literally even says Miguel has the potential to be better than he ever was, implying that Miguel has more potential than everybody else in the dojo. And if you need any more proof that Miguel is just over Hawk this season, is pretty obvious. At Coyote Creek, Miguel beats Hawk, and Hawk gets no major buff before the end of the season anyways, such as training or anything of the sort. So I think it's safe to say that Miguel is better than Hawk in this season due to him literally beating him, statements from Johnny, and implications. So yeah, Miguel 2 for 2 so far, and I would also say Miguel will win this season no to low diff, simply because bro literally no to low diff at Coyote Creek. The only reason Hawk even dealt damage to Miguel in that fight was because he used an outside object like the tree. Moving forward to season 3, I think it should be self-explanatory that this is probably where the video gets a little controversial. As people know by now, I am a big advocate of saying season Hawk 3 sucks and that he is not good, it's not his prime. And also, even for the people that say it's not his prime but say Hawk is busted in this season, need to just stop. Hawk has no feats in this season that are worthwhile to me. Many people will say, oh, well, Miguel didn't do any training this season outside of learning the drum technique. And you would be very correct on this, considering his body was messed up through the majority of it, so he couldn't really train to his fullest level. But where a lot of people make a mistake is, remember how I said Miguel no to low diff Hawk in season 2? Well, Hawk, if you really want to say because he kept training, he would reach Miguel's level, you would practically be saying that because of this training, he would just now be starting to catch up to season 2 Miguel. And also, it's important to keep in mind that at the end of the season, it's fair to say that Miguel was the better fighter than Hawk, simply because he got his perma amp and pretty much fixed his legs, making him a better fighter. But this is only if you consider the last episode as in full season. I don't think so. Hawk is just more healthy in the full season, so I would just say Hawk is the better fighter in this season by that logic. But if you want me to say the very last episode of both, then I think it's fair to say that arguably Miguel is the best fighter, simply considering that, plus the writer statement. But once again, I want to keep in mind that the writers were talking about Miguel being the Karate Kid of this generation or something, which absolutely has nothing to do with fighting capability or skill. So I don't really understand how people apply that to saying Miguel is the best fighter in this season, but somehow they twist it and manipulate it till he gets to that point. I don't really understand it. In my personal opinion, I think Hawk wins simply because he's more healthy overall in the season than Miguel is. But if we were just taking at the end, I would say Miguel. So overall, my choice will be Hawk. Now, like I said before, Hawk has no crazy feats, so I would say put him at this level. Like I said before, there are many people that try to say Hawk has the best feats by the end of the season, like throwing Bird through the window and so on and so forth. But there is no real way to know that he was actually the one that performed any of these feats. Also, he struggles against other students in Miyagi-Do that aren't even Sam or Robbie. So Yeah, he's also afraid of Choi. There's just too many things I can go down a list of that just show Hulk is clearly not the best fighter in this season, but I'm not going over it in this video. In fact, I already made a video about it, so go check it out if you want. But yeah, Hulk in Miguel, I would say Hulk would win Extreme Diff. And honestly, I'm only saying this because Miguel was hurt for most of the season. If you don't take this interpretation, remember that Miguel is the winner. But I just want this to be said that I'm saying that Hulk is the winner. Moving forward to season 4, we can now discuss even more in detail about this season and clearly see who is the better fighter. This is one of the seasons that I think it's really crazy how much the shift of like who is the better fighter completely changed. When Eli actually started to focus strictly on Miyagi-Do, he became a much better fighter. As I already stated, Miguel and like low-key Hulk would have been better Miyagi-Do students than they would have been Cobra Kai students, just simply because Cobra Kai really never fit their initial personalities at all. And when these two both start to use Miyagi-Do, you can quickly see how fast they catch on to it simply because it just fits their personalities more. Now, like I'm going to say right now, I 100% think that Hulk is the better fighter than Miguel this season. He beats Robbie. Robbie beat him at the prom fight. This is a fair scale, considering they were both not holding back. There's no reason to assume they were holding back. Neither one of them were mentally nerfed or anything. It's not really specified. I mean, Miguel doesn't get mentally nerfed till after what Robbie says, so I don't know why this would affect him during the fight. And ultimately, I have no reason to say that this is false. So yeah, Hulk beat Robbie, who was over Miguel. Simple as that. Eli or Hulk is better. Now, in terms of their fight between each other, that you might say, oh, well, yeah, the prom fight happened then, and they got like training and so on and so forth. That would completely change the course of this fight. Yes, it would change the fight somewhat, and yes, Miguel was able to put up a good fight, but I think honestly, if Miguel had continued to win that fight, I think due to narrative, if nothing else alone, Hulk would have won the fight. But yeah, if you want to say Miguel would have won had that injury never happened, I guess it's a fair game. There's really no way I can disargue that. But considering that Robbie performed better than Miguel at prom, these are clear feats that would just suggest, Hulk is above him. So yeah, I'm going with Hulk season 4. And yeah, now it's 2-2. I know you're thinking, how does this get unclose? Well, there are still 2 seasons left, so let's get into them right now. In season 5, I think it should go without saying that Hulk gets a big nerf. One, he loses to Silver Bullet Kenny pretty badly as he could barely recover from it. When we see Robbie get hit with this same Silver Bullet, he is not only able to continue to keep fighting, but honestly can keep his senses about himself, implying that Hulk is a weaker fighter. Also, I want to clarify that Johnny never said Hulk was on Robbie and Miguel's level. He simply only went with what Robbie and Miguel said, which was that because Eli was the previous All Valley champion, he should like do what, he can for Miyagi-Do or Butch. Also, by the way, I'm low-key forgetting the word at this very moment in time. Represent, there we go. Represent Miyagi-Do. Because he was the previous All Valley champion, so why wouldn't he represent it? And ultimately, yeah, that makes sense, but just keep in mind, Johnny never said that. Also, what Johnny did actually say was that he thought Miguel and Robbie was what they would need to actually win the Sekai Tekai and be able to qualify for being able to even go to the Sekai Tekai, going so far to say that now they're on the same team, well, they'll be able to win. So with that being said, I think it's fair to say that Miguel and Robbie are just above Hulk, not to mention the fact that Hulk was struggling once again completely got no diff by Silver Bullet Kenny, and was struggling to fight Kyler. And no, I'm so serious when I say I've showed this scene before. Yes, he was literally one-on-oneing them. Hulk no diff the other two, it was just one-on-oneing Kyler, and this is Kyler just getting clear shots off on him. So I don't know what people are talking about or what they're smoking, but no, he was definitely struggling against Kyler. Now, with that being said, yeah, I got Miguel in that season. So yeah, I would say like mid, low diff. Anyways. Also, wait, just to clear on another argument, people that say because Miguel was like the better fighter in season 5, that's not how that works. Throughout that entire season, we had never seen Miguel fight to his absolute capability. So you can't just upscale Miguel saying, oh, well, if he wasn't nerfed during the tournament, he would be this and this strong, because we truly do not know. So with that actually being said, it's fair to say that the Miguel in season 5 and season 4 are 2 completely different counterparts, saying just because Miguel won or would be better in season 5, it does not mean he would be better than him in season 4, because we never saw that version of Miguel in season 4. Anyways, with that being said, let's go on to season 6. in season 6, I think it's fair to say that there's even more clear-cut scaling that just pinpoints to Miguel being the better fighter than Hulk again, simply because he not only gets special training in the dojo, as well as Sam, Tori, and Robbie, who at this point all were able to get more flags than everybody else in the flag game, which I think is a pretty good basis to say they are better and above everybody else in the dojo. And it's like they literally are the only two like people out of each like female and male categories to have captain battles. And not to mention the fact that Hulk not only gets stripped by Devin, implying that Hulk is mentally nerfed here due to the Dimitri stuff. And yes, I do understand that Hulk is mentally nerfed, but once again, this is another situation where if a character is mentally nerfed and we never see them at their full power, you can't just upscale them because you think they would be this and this so strong. So the Hulk that we see on screen is the Hulk we get, and the Hulk we see on screen is 100% below Miguel. It's not even close. So I would say, yeah, Miguel wins, and I don't really need to apply any more feats for this. So with that being said, let's go over them one more time and let's get up to our final goal. Season 1, Miguel. Season 2, Miguel. Season 3, Hulk. Season 4, Hulk. Season 5, Miguel. And Season 6, Miguel. And so ultimately, that is the sum total. Yes, Miguel wins more times out of not. And with that being said, that is the video. If you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment, share. Hit a like. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you for all supporting the previous video, guys. Yes, and Miguel is the better fighter overall, 4-2. And yeah, I would say this is not particularly close. Hope you guys get something to eat. Hope you guys enjoy this whenever you watch it. And yeah, I'm out. Thank you. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.